shapes and all sizes. It can sometimes feel like there's no escape from it. But this year, it's taught us that no matter what rolls in off this river, this team and city will face it all together. United for us and for Memphis.
We have our own goals. Our own goals are always higher than what other people say.
Whose ever number was called, they were ready.
Big body Ronnie said, Coach, I can make a difference.
We can compete with anybody, no matter what adversity we're going through as a team, as an organization.
No matter how daunting it looked.
84-55, San Antonio pulling away.
No deficit was too big.
Brooks, a three for the tie. Bingo at 1.8 from 29 points down. You have just witnessed the largest comeback in franchise history.
With a franchise that can only be built in Memphis, we always refuse to blink.
It's blocked by Brooks. Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
I love everything about this Memphis Grizzlies team. Tied together, they compete at a high level.
We're fine. We're going to ball great. Let's go.
They have an edge about themselves that they worked for. They were doubted. They were counted out. At times they were ignored. They embrace who they are.
Ain't no backing down.
We know our path to where we want to go won't be easy, but nothing worth fighting for ever is. So for the doubters, stay on that side. Everybody else, with us.
All right, y'all. And with that, welcome to another edition of Talk Sports Live. I'm your host, Josh Midget, in the building, the Talkback Live Network studios. Appreciate y'all for joining me on this Sunday evening. It is April the 16th, 2023. And it's a day that I think we're going to remember for the wrong reasons. If you're a Grizzlies fan on this evening. And a lot of y'all, I put the post up about 20, 25 minutes ago, whatever it was, saying, you know, did y'all want me to come live and vent? Because I got a lot on my mind after watching that game. And I've kind of calmed down some after watching it because some time has passed. But I'm still pretty fired up, I must admit, but I'm doing the professional thing and the professional decorum of which I come live. I'm glad to be back on with y'all again. I know it's been a while, by the way. I appreciate y'all that are already coming in and joining me on this Sunday evening. Appreciate y'all using a little bit of a different platform on today. So definitely appreciate all of y'all for joining me. What's up, Leon, Mapstone, my man Dwight Rogers. Happy Sunday to you too. See, Sabine Fenster is in the building. What's going on? Kelly Reddick in the building. So shaking my head. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you too. My guy, GKP, coming in, saying y'all already know who it is. Go Clippers. See, we're not even talking about that game. That game's going on. I believe that's going on right now. Clippers and Suns. We ain't talking about no clip. There's no clip show over here. But I am looking forward to seeing the Clippers lose to the Suns tonight. So that might make me feel a little better, GKP. So to that point, I guess I'm glad you brought that up. But shout out to everybody coming in on tonight. So, in case you've been under a rock, yeah, man, it has been a long time. Dwight Rogers, appreciate you, man. Greg, good evening to you, everybody, as you say. Every time, appreciate you from Topeka, Kansas, or Tamika, Kansas, I guess however you want to say it. But, man, look, all right, how y'all feeling? Because here's the bottom line. This is just game one, so I don't think there's any reason to panic. But we've been doing a lot of talking, people. By we, I mean Grizzly fans. All week, been saying, hey, you know, you look at the national media, everybody's like, ooh, the Grizzlies are playing the Lakers. This is going to be a tough matchup, even though the Grizz are the 2 seed, second best record in the Western Conference. Grizz finished the year on a good note, over the last several games, and the Lakers have been on a run as well, the way they ended their season after the trade that they made of Westbrook. Got some good young pieces coming in, stuff like that. But the main reason why most people were like, okay, the Grizz are on slippery slope here is because, one, the Grizz are a younger team, and two, the experience and superstardom of Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And in addition to that, the lack of size that the Grizzlies brought in during the game. And look, if you're a fan, objective or not, you had to admit that was the main thing I was worried about. I wasn't worried about LeBron, wasn't worried about Anthony Davis to some degree, because you know they're going to do what they're going to do. The main thing was that without Steven Adams, without Brandon Clark, you saw the massive hole in our down low abilities. And not just, scoring, because Jaren actually had a tremendous game. And I was very impressed with the way Jaren Jackson played for the most part tonight. He was the go-to guy. It reminded me of the days of Zebo, where they just they cleared the block out for Jaren. He posted up, got physical, back guys down consistently, and he did what he wanted to do. Unless it was Anthony Davis, nobody could guard Jaren Jackson Jr. And they really didn't try to use Anthony Davis for the most part on Jaren. They used LeBron, they used Hachimura, and other guys. And Jaren just destroyed everybody on the Lakers that they tried to put on him, other than Anthony Davis. So that's going to be a good sign going forward. But the main thing I know a lot of people are worried about, especially coming out of this game, is Ja Morant. Because coming into the game, if one thing that was a red flag, I was looking at some pictures of Ja pregame. He had his hand wrapped up. So I wonder what in the world's going on there. Heard that he hurt his hand. They said something would got caught in a jersey or something like that in a previous game. But it was to the point where they had to wrap it up. And to me, even though when it got to the fourth quarter, he had 18 points, I was worried. There was one point where he had a pretty good shooting percentage. He hit some mid-range shots, all that stuff. But Ja didn't look right the whole game to me. He looked like he was pushing too hard. He looked like he was just kind of out of sorts. I don't know if the hand was bothering him. It got him out of rhythm with the way he usually does things. I just don't know. Maybe it's the Lakers and their game plan on Ja. Maybe that bothered him. I don't know. But one way or another, Ja was clearly bothered by what the Lakers were doing, to the point where I almost wanted him out of the game. And if you notice, and I hate to say this, but I think facts are facts. When Ja came out of that game in the fourth quarter after he fell on his hand again, now, a lot of people praying it's not broken. I'm going to play the clip from Taylor Jenkins here in a minute, Coach Jenkins. And I'm going to get to Coach Jenkins too, because I definitely got some thoughts on Coach Jenkins. But, they're talking about his x-rays and stuff like that. I'll let the clip from Coach Jenkins explain all that. But he fell after trying to dunk on Anthony Davis. You know how high in the air Ja Morant gets, and he fell right on his hurt hand. And he had to run to the locker room, screaming in pain, which was not a great look. I saw he was sitting on the bench, looked like it's a cast or a black bandage. Don't know how to feel about that. So, all that being said, it's a lot of things to be concerned about. But how do you guys feel after game one, after watching Austin Reeves light us up? Yes, Austin Reeves, the white gentleman for the Lakers, who's a baller. I think he's a baller, man. I really do. There's certain type of guys where you just look at him and say he's a baller. He's a gamer. He's one of those dudes. He really is. I can't hate Austin Reeves at all. Matter of fact, those are the type players I like. He's a dog. He don't care who you think he is. He's going to show you that he's him, as he said during the game. The man, if you saw Austin Reeves, after he hit his first 3 of the game early on, he did the ice water in my veins celebration at the Memphis crowd. I love guys like that. He's got a killer instinct in him. And if you think he didn't, that fourth quarter where he scored like 12, 13 points in a row on us while screaming, "I'm him," that boy got some dog in him. And that dog bit us in the fourth quarter of that game, man. I can't take nothing away from him. I really can't. Him and Rui Hachimura. Who would have thought, right? Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura went off for the Lakers. I don't know how many threes he hit, but Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves were the stars for the Lakers on tonight. If anything will give you solace, and it kind of gives me solace, yes, Sabine said they were calling him AR-15. That's right. But if anything gives me solace is that I don't think Rui Hachimura is going to go for 30 again on us. I don't think so. I think Austin Reeves could do what he did again, to be honest with you. I think he showed himself to be that guy to the point where LeBron was basically non-existent in the last 8 minutes of the game. They had Austin Reeves on isolation, basically, running off screens and just saying, "Hey, man, do your thing." And he did his thing over and over. Just him and Hachimura back to back. And still, you didn't really see from Anthony Davis until the last few seconds where he kept getting steals and blocking the Jaren 3 at the end, getting some cheap dunks at the end of that game. But I can't take nothing away from him. But the Grizzlies' size is going to be a problem going forward. And hopefully, I don't know, there's really nothing you could do to fix it. It's not like you could sign a 7-footer in the playoffs. I really felt like they probably should have gotten another big. You know, it's not like he needed to be a superstar, but you just need a big body, you know, other than Jaren. I guess they thought they were fine with Xavier Tillman and who else? That's it. It's just Xavier Tillman and Jaren, right? Santi Aldama. Santi's too slim to be doing Santi, but he's more of a perimeter big. He's 6'10" and shoots threes. And even Jaren, to some extent, even though he's gotten bigger than he used to be, you know, he's not a bulky guy, you know, to be down there trying to bang and rebound like a Zebo or something. I almost wouldn't have mind. And let me know if you're wrong. I got you. Let me know. Let me know if you agree or not. Kenneth Lofton Jr., the man they call Baby Zebo, I wouldn't have minded to see him get some minutes here and there. Would that have really hurt in the grand scheme of things? Could he have done any worse than Xavier Tillman did? I don't know. Read some of these comments. A lot of comments coming in. Y'all can see them on the screen here. This new technology I'm working with today. Y'all let me know how you feel about it. Let's see. Go back here a little bit. GKP says about the Suns game says later on. He says the reason I'm here. GKP, I appreciate you, man. Greg says I stopped watching about 10 minutes into the fourth quarter. I couldn't stomach anymore. Well, you missed a lot, Greg, because the Grizz had actually came back and made it a game at one point, but then you also missed the collapse. So I guess you didn't miss too much. Memphis's own Hurt. He says they should have went after Boogie Cousins to battle AD. Boogie, man, is such an enigma. DeMarcus Cousins, in case y'all don't know who that is. But he's a big man. He's strong. And I think he can still play. I wouldn't have hated it. I wouldn't have hated it. I think the only reason they didn't is because he's they worry about the locker room or something. I don't know. But I wouldn't have hated that move, but it's too late now. Leon Mapstone says, I stopped watching in the middle of the fourth. Oh, man. Y'all quit watching, huh? Y'all quit? Okay. Greg said it was disgusting to see them seemingly play scared with AD in the middle. I get that, definitely. Kelly Reddick. What's up, Kelly? Kelly says it hurt by Steven Adams and BC, Brandon Clark, being injured, and I hope Ja is going to be okay. GKP says to Kelly, no Ja, get the broom ready. LOL. So you're saying the Lakers going to sweep us without Ja? I actually don't think so. I don't. And I'm not saying Ja's going to be out because we don't know. We don't know the state of Ja Morant at this point. But if y'all want to give us a call, we could try the phone lines today. The number's on the screen there, scrolling by, 901-213-6020. You can give me your thoughts here. Take the calls one at a time, of course. And we can talk to you. Now, before we do that, I want to see if I can get Coach Jenkins in, because I want to transition to my thoughts on Coach Taylor Jenkins. I don't think y'all going to like some of my thoughts. I don't think you are. Because I saw some of y'all saying he should have been Coach of the Year and were upset that he didn't make the final three for Coach of the Year. He didn't deserve Coach of the Year this year. Last year, it was a different story. This year, no. Yeah, the Grizz finished second in the West. No. All three of those guys that made the Coach of the Year list over Taylor Jenkins right now, all deserved it over Taylor Jenkins. Period. Grizz homer or not. And tonight's game was even more evidence that he doesn't deserve Coach of the Year. But I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Let's hear from Coach Taylor Jenkins, if you can stomach it on this Sunday night. And we'll be back.
He's in some pain, tough fall there. X-rays were negative. More evaluation over the next 2 days before game 2. Told the guys, hey, we talked about this before. The playoffs started at the beginning of the week. It's first to 4. It's one game at a time. We've shown a lot of resiliency in previous playoffs throughout the season. Just got to focus on that. Come out, just continue to put our work in each day. Did some good things tonight. We did some not so good things tonight. And we just got to clean it up. And we just got to keep taking it one game at a time. Guys were in really good spirits. Obviously disappointing. You're definitely pissed off after a game. When you take a loss to start out the series, but been in this position before, just got to focus on just tomorrow's day.
What did you make of Jaren's performance? What do you think he did well, and how can he, keep this up through the full series?
Yeah, no, I thought he was extremely well, played extremely well. Aggressive. Obviously they're going to probably start throwing double teams at him, so kind of figuring that out. But I thought when he got to his spots on the floor, he found the angles to get separation, have, nice finishing game, obviously knocking down threes, free throws, doing what he does on the defensive side. I mean, he was huge for us, just trying to find him different ways to be aggressive, whether it's on the perimeter or on the inside. I thought he did a really good job tonight, and it's going to be interesting to see what their game plan is and adjustments. We got to be ready for it.
Taylor, when Ja fell, it looked like he fell, and then like his wrist also didn't look great there. Is his wrist being evaluated as well as his hand at this point?
I think the medical team's looking at everything.
Okay. And when he returned to the bench, did you know at that time he was not available to check back in the game? Or was there any possibility at that point that he might?
Yeah, they said an emergency situation, but probably the smartest thing was just to hold him out as we continue to go through evaluation.
Taylor in the back. I know it's so early, but is this a new injury to Ja or on that fall, or going back to just adding on to what happened after that Milwaukee game?
I mean, obviously it was a different fall, and it was in the same area, so can't tell if it's exactly that. They got more further evaluation to see, compared to what had happened when the Milwaukee game.
And secondly, when you get ready for this game, obviously you knew they had the parts that were there to see Reeves and Hachimura come up as big as they did. That had to be something that really went well for them in this game.
Yeah, those guys played extremely well. Obviously, Reeves late in the game, Hachimura, got a lot of open threes tonight. We'll continue to discuss the game plan. He played extremely well. I thought the ball moved really well for the Lakers tonight. We just got to continue to go watch the film and see where we got to make the necessary adjustments. But if we're going to give up 50 points in transition on the boards, it's going to be really tough no matter what happens in the half court.
Along those lines, they were plus 27 with Anthony Davis on the floor. He obviously did damage on the glass, blocking shots. How do you combat that? He's obviously a fantastic player, but how do you combat that? Just in terms of you can't have him dominating like he did inside today.
Yeah, sure. More effort on the boards. It's a collective effort. It's easier said than done. And then obviously we got to identify when we've got crowds that we're playing and we turned it over too much tonight. He blocked 7 shots. He's elite for a reason. He sets a tone for the aggressive defense that they play. We just got to make some smarter decisions around there when he's at the basket.
I have 2 questions, I guess, just to get the ball rolling on this. Do you expect Ja will be able to play in 2 days?
We're taking it one day at a time. I can't answer that until I get full. I'm not the medical expert. So,
and then bigger picture, before he got hurt, what did you think of how he played today?
I thought he was good, aggressive, obviously trying to get a feel for their game plan. They were a little bit more aggressive than we expected, pick up points, driving downhill, knock down some big shots. He was getting his floater to go early in the first half, knocking down threes as well. And that second half was big. They're going to throw a lot of different bodies at him. It's Vanderbilt, and they throw Schroeder at him. They're up in the pick and rolls. They're back. I thought he navigated the game pretty well. Was kind of learn and see, how we got to adapt to those different game plans they throw out throughout the game.
Taylor, just wondering where Rui, at what point, when a player like that is shooting as well as he was in that third quarter, did you attempt to shift some things on him? What were those conversations, and just how do you think that played out in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, first look wasn't game plan related. Second look was. Then they had a driving kick. We were in rotations. They found him for an open 3. And then I think there was another one late in the game that was off an early pass. Russell did a good job tonight distributing early, 7 assists to an open 3. So we definitely had our dialogues. He found just enough open space. Teammates did a great job finding him. So definitely something we got to clean up.
Now, here's the thing, Coach. And you're not going to make me buy the fact that he just so happened to be open every single time. I think, and you can let me know if I'm wrong, people in the chat, but I feel like what I saw was Coach Jenkins said, hey, we're going to leave this guy open, Rui Hachimura. He's a role player. He's not a great shooter. We're going to leave him open over and over and force him to beat us. Now, I kind of understand that. I'm not going to say that's terrible. But after he hits 4 straight 3-pointers, I think you have to switch it up a little bit. He went boom, 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 boom. It's like, okay, I think at a certain point you might have to make a little bit of an adjustment. I don't know. I just felt like that was a glaring situation there that really cost the Grizzlies the game, because those threes, as always, they always are, huge momentum shift in the game to the point where he got his confidence flowing, and now he can't miss nothing. Even when the Grizz are right there, he's hitting those shots. I saw the man hit a baseline fadeaway right in Desmond Bane's eye. And the reason that is because he's gained confidence in that jump shot to the point where, he was just banging on everything. So to me, that was a little bit annoying. It seemed like that did not change. Either the Grizzlies defense is that stupid, which I don't think they are, or they were told to leave him open and make him beat us. Now, you can judge whether that's the right or wrong decision, but it looks like now, with the Grizzlies down 1-0 in this series, that was a bad decision. Grizzlies lose 128-112 to the Lakers, a game that was much closer than that for the most part, but the 15-0 run to basically close the game out really pushed it out of reach in the last 2 minutes of the game. Austin Reeves doing his thing, going down the box score a little bit, LeBron James in 34 minutes, 21 points, 5 assists, 11 rebounds. Really was not anywhere to be found in that fourth quarter late, at least not to me. They let Austin Reeves handle business in the fourth quarter, which he had 23 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds himself for Austin Reeves. D'Angelo Russell, 19.7 assists in 36 minutes. Anthony Davis, 22 points, 12 rebounds in 37 minutes. The Grizz were led by Jaren Jackson Jr., 31 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Dylan Brooks had 15 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds in 29 minutes. Desmond Bain, even though he had 5 fouls, I feel like that was a big turning point too. He got in foul trouble in the third quarter, right when he was starting to cook. He ended with 22 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. I think he really could have finished with a big game, and that would have made a difference also. Game. John Morant ended up 18 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists in 30 minutes as well. And a couple of bench guys that played decently well. Luke Kennard, 7 points off the bench. Tyus Jones, 9 points, 3 assists with some good minutes off the bench. Santi Aldama, 8 points, 6 rebounds off the bench. David Roddy had 9 minutes and didn't score any points. So I don't know, man. Not a great start to the series. I was very upset after that game was over. A lot of things that were avoidable that happened. One thing about it, you can't blame the referees. I know we were talking about Scott Foster leading into the game, being the crew chief of this game. Refs had nothing to do with this game at all. Matter of fact, they helped the Grizzlies in some circumstances in this game. There were some bad calls, but that's going to happen in every game. That had nothing to do with the Grizzlies losing. One of the main reasons the Grizzlies lost, to me, is Coach Jenkins. I think he did a terrible job adjusting in this game. He was out-coached by Darvin Ham, period. Darvin Ham, head coach of the Lakers, out-coached Taylor Jenkins today. And I don't think that could be disputed. You can disagree if you want. Let me know what you thought. What do you think was the main reason why the Grizzlies lost tonight to the Los Angeles Lakers? Was it because of Coach Jenkins? Was it because of Ja Morant getting hurt and not being able to finish the game? Let me know what you think. Let's go to the phone line. All right, we got Jet on the line, and y'all listening, be sure and let me know if you can hear Jet well, because I know we had problems in the past. Jet, how you doing, man? You already, you already. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Mhm. You know what was weird? It's yeah, definitely. And Jed, they said they still can't hear it for some reason. Now I see, and I am listening to the stream also. It's like it goes in and out. I think it's more of a thing on my yeah. Okay. All right, man. All right, that's Jet on the line. I know y'all can hear a lot of that for whatever reason. Get that going with the phone system here, but seemed like it came in and out at some point. But appreciate y'all with the feedback on that. But a lot of what Jet was saying, just to kind of sum it up there, and you can put it in the comments also, man, if you want to type it in. Appreciate you listening, and everybody else is watching too. My thing is, again, what surprised me was, and Jet brought up the point. Everybody going into this game, we talked about how the Grizzlies need to push the pace. The Grizzlies need to be aggressive. The Grizzlies need to do what they need to do to put the pressure on the Lakers, and that's not really what happened. The Lakers came out aggressive. The Lakers came out playing full court defense, getting in John's face, playing 90 feet all the way down the court. One of the weirdest things, and I don't think the Grizz expected to meet that early on. I mean, they had Dennis Schroeder all up in Ja's gym shorts in the beginning of the game. They were pushing the tempo, running up and down the floor, taking threes, doing whatever they wanted to do, and being aggressive, setting the tone early. And really, that's not, at least in my opinion, the style of play that you're used to the Lakers doing. You know, and I know this is a league where everybody plays fast paced, but this is much faster, at least in my opinion, than what the Lakers have been doing. And maybe that's intentional. I think Coach Ham, if you saw, they did the mic'd up thing with Coach Ham, the Lakers head coach. And he said, you know, want to be aggressive. You want to push them, get at them early. It's almost like you want to make them nervous and make them think about it early on, make them feel you, get physical, and kind of flip the script on them that they weren't expecting. So I don't know, and I think it did have somewhat of an effect on the Grizzlies, and they got them off their rhythm, even though they were able to get back to them later on, where the Grizz had a halftime lead. But it just seemed like they couldn't stay the course. But I think at the end of the day, you know, you got a lot of people panicking. Jet told, I know y'all couldn't hear, but Jet said he was listening to the Grizzlies post game on the radio, and they were taking calls from different fans, and basically that they were like, hey, a lot of fans were panicking out here, you know, panicking and ready to say the series is over, things of that nature. And it's never a good thing. Don't get me wrong. When you lose your first game at home in a playoff series, never a good thing. But let's remember, this did happen last year. This happened in the Minnesota series, you know, and the Grizz came back and won that thing. Now, I still think the Grizz are a better team. I don't think Rui Hachimura is going to average 30 points a game against us. And I think the Grizz will find a way to pull it off. I appreciate that, GKP. I did check that out, but that is a good point. I'm double check here. I literally was just checking that suggestion you had about the audio interface. Making sure they're assigned to the same thing. So Frankie says Giannis is out for the rest of the game with a lower back injury. Oh my goodness. Milwaukee. That's a huge loss right there. And I gotta check that out. Let me know. Let's see. What game is that? Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat. It's 60-52 Miami with a minute 35 left until halftime. That's a huge loss. Because if Giannis was able to go at all, he would get back out there. So man, that's huge. Definitely going to be keeping an eye on that when I get off of here. And Milwaukee is the number 1 seed in the East. So man, could be another upset there. We'll have to wait and see. Got a couple more games coming up tonight, just as a quick reminder. Clippers at the Phoenix Suns, 7 p.m. on TNT. And then right after that on TNT, you got the Denver Nuggets, who are the number 1 seed in the West, taking on Mike Conley, Kyle Anderson, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Mike Conley and the Minnesota Timberwolves, who would have thought, in the playoffs. So that's going to be something to watch as well. So it's got a few more minutes. I'm going to be on here. Quick question that I asked. I know you won't be able to use the phone lines as of right now. But again, what do you think is the main reason that the Grizzlies lost tonight? And how do you feel the series is going to end? The Grizz still going to win in 6? They're still going to win in 5, as a lot of us predicted heading into this game tonight. Do you think it's going to go 7 games now? Does this change your thinking for the Grizzlies going forward in this series? Y'all let me know. Look at some more of these comments here. Some more that I might have missed. Jay, when I brought up about Junior Lofton playing for getting some playing time, he said, Josh Lofton? Forget about it. I don't know, man. People underestimate the young man. Kelly says, heck yeah, he's a baller, meaning Austin Reed. He was done. He's done in 3 of my teams. In high school, I see, because I can't. It doesn't matter. In high school, he killed my high school team. He killed my Memphis Tigers when he played for Wichita State. I remember that. And now today, I'm sick of that dude. I feel you, Kelly. I'm there with you. Trust me. And whoever's calling, I appreciate it. But as I stated a couple times, I won't be able to take any more calls today until we completely get the phone situation down. And again, I'll be transparent. I'm looking at it right now. It's going through the correct system. But for some reason, it does not. And I can hear it clearly in my headphones and in the studio. I hear it very well. It's going through the board. I almost wonder if it's a board problem for it to go through the computer. So I'm not really sure when it comes to that. But again, we'll definitely work on that and it will get fixed. But we appreciate y'all for sticking in. And as many of y'all that are watching on tonight, on a Sunday night, it's NBA playoffs going on. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you. Jet says, and I don't like that. And he's saying, not that I don't like Van Gundy or that I don't like Mark Jackson, but together that broadcast is horrible. Man, I'm glad somebody said that. I was so annoyed listening to them. I think they've gotten worse. I know they're the main team for ESPN, Mike Breen and Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. I feel like they've gotten worse. I don't know. They don't know what they're talking about. You know, they're slow, boring. You know, even Mark Jackson's catchphrases don't hit like they used to, man. You know, mama, there goes that man. I'm like, I'm sick of that now. Where's Brevin and Pete Pranica? That's what I want to see. I hate they weren't able to broadcast the game today, but I believe they're going to be back for game 2 on Bally Sports South. So at least we got that to look forward to. Maybe we'll win. I think that's probably why we lost. No Pete Brevin. That's the problem. Kelly says Lakers role players continue to make shots. It will be scary, but he said he still got Grizz in 5. Okay. Kelly still has the confidence. So, okay, now you know what that means, right, Kelly? Grizz in 5. That means the Lakers won't win another game. That means the Grizz will sweep them the rest of the series. All right. You sure about that? Sabine Finster, she says, halftime analysts irritated me. Grizz up by 6, and all they talk about is AD's on. Well, that's all the national media knows. They don't know the Grizzlies. Even though the Grizz are the second best team in the Western Conference, they don't know the Grizzlies. Stephen A. and them, they just learned Jaren Jackson's name the other day. They don't know anybody but Ja Morant. And with Ja getting hurt, they sure don't know what's going on. Let's see here. Jet says, I actually agree with Kelly. Okay, so Jet says Grizz in 5. So the Grizz aren't losing another game, okay? Well, I'm glad to see y'all got that confidence still. GKP says, forget about it. Forget about it, Kelly. So what's your prediction, GKP? You said forget about it. Who's winning? It seemed like you got the Lakers. I know you're a Clippers fan. I thought you'd be rooting for us to beat the other team in Los Angeles, but what you got? Let me know what you got in this series. Anybody else watching, be free to type down what you got. Grizz in 6, Grizz in 7, Lakers in 7, 6, 5. How do you feel about this series? Still got a little bit of time before I got to get up out of here on this Sunday evening. Once again, appreciate y'all for joining me. GKP says Lakers in 6. Okay. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Kelly said that was me trying to call Josh. Oh, man, I appreciate that. Thanks for letting me know. Thanks for letting me know. We're going to get it straight, man. But I appreciate seeing your comments. And also, I hope y'all like being able to see your comments on the screen in kind of a ticker formation, as well as you can see me. So that's one of the new things I'm working with here. Feel like this is going to work a lot better for future broadcasts with myself, with Bob, with me and Bob, and whatever else we plan on doing here. So once again, appreciate y'all for coming in. Oh, hold on now. Frankie says, I hate to say it, but I agree with GKP. Oh, no. Frankie, you turn your back on the Grizzlies. I never thought I'd see that. So you think Lakers in 6? Well, I know Frankie LeBron is your son. I forgot about that. So I forgot about that. That makes more sense now that I think about it. Jay says, but no Ja, get the broom ready. LOL. Well, I don't know. Hopefully Ja gets it together. Like I said, I love Ja. And Ja is one of the most incredible athletes I've ever seen play basketball. Ever. I'm not saying that lightly. But for whatever reason, it just didn't seem like he was all there today. It didn't. He got frustrated really quickly. Some of his decision-making was a little bit questionable. It's like he tried to force the issue a little bit too much. I don't know. He wasn't playing within himself like he normally does. Hopefully he gets that together. But with this injury, I don't know. Now, again, you heard Coach Jenkins. If you didn't hear, I played Coach Jenkins' press conference from not too long ago. And the first thing he said was Ja's x-rays are negative. So that is a good sign as of right now. So we'll continue to see what that means going forward for his health. But that's a hand that he's already injured. Hurts it a little bit more. What does that mean for game 2 and for the rest of the playoffs? So we will have to see. Now, I got to get this off my chest, guys, because there's so much stuff that's happened this week, and I'm not going to be able to talk about all of this, but there's one thing I must bring up. And I've been talking to different people, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on this before I go. Ja Morant is countersuing the young man that accused them of pulling a gun on him in his yard when they were playing basketball at John Morant's house. He's countersuing him for potential loss of wages due to him not making the All-NBA team because of games missed because of this situation. And according to his lawyers, the potential for lost wages in his contract, where he, because of not being able to make the All-NBA team, he may not be able to make max money, which is a stipulation in his contract. So he's countersuing. And that's just some of it. I don't know all the details. But I don't know. Initially, I'm going to tell you straight up, when I first heard that Ja was countersuing this young man, and we now know who it is. I already knew who it was, but since it's been made publicly by the news, Josh Holloway, local star athlete that's committed to Samford University as recently as this week, I believe. So that's the kid. And I saw the kid on the news, and they're talking to him, and they're like, well, kid, how's it feel that you're going to college, but you're also having a legal battle with one of the most powerful names in the NBA? And he says, I got God on my side, man. I can't sit and worry about that. To me, Ja, this is my initial thoughts. Ja, you about to go to the playoffs. Why are you countersuing an 18-year-old? Yeah, he probably did lie. I still think they lied on Ja. I really do. I think his parents are trying to get money. This is my opinion. But still, do you cut your losses, pay them folks off so you can move on? Or do you countersue and keep your name in the news for negative reasons? Because Channel 3 done interviewed this Josh Holloway kid. He comes across like a good kid and trying to fight the good fight. I understand, Sabine. I actually do agree that none of these people on that side are as innocent as they're portraying themselves. But you know what's going to happen. John's been under a negative media firestorm for quite a while. And just when this is starting to go away, John hits him with the countersuit. Now, I've also been in some conversations, and on one side of things, maybe they say this countersuit is a way for them to put their foot down and say, hey, we're not just going to sit here and let you lie on us. We're going to come back and hit you with something too. I don't know. Sabine Finster, just like I read there, y'all can see the comment. The kid is not as innocent as he pretends to be. I don't doubt that. Kelly says he did that really to himself with all the other stuff, not just this one incident. What it did was put the spotlight brighter on him with it, all the other things he was getting into. Sabine Finster says, these comments coming in quick now since I brought this up. Sabine says, I understand sometimes you just have to pay this stuff away. That's what I think, to be honest. I don't know. GKP says, Ja just jumped on that kid and beat him up. Come on now. You don't believe that, GKP. You don't believe Ja Morant is whooping 17-year-olds for no reason. Come on, man. Come on. What type of dude do you think this is? Y'all are wrong. Jet Lucas says, yeah, they lied, but man, Ja, just move on and learn from it. Stop inviting kids to your house like you Michael Jackson. Yeah. Well, Lord, let's not go there. It's a whole nother situation. I don't think Ja's ain't no Neverland going on with Ja. He's just trying to play ball. Anyway, Sabine says, I agree with Kelly also. Yeah. Jed says, Frankie, I'm sorry. I personally know a couple of people who were there who stated the young man is lying. I don't doubt it. I really don't. I really don't. Y'all are something else. I really don't doubt he's lying. I don't. There's already, from what I heard, a history of the mother trying to get money from different situations in the past. So I don't know. I don't know, man. But it just don't look good. You got Channel 3 talking about this young man. He's a good young man. And he's having to face a lawsuit from an NBA superstar. And Josh Holloway's on the news like, well, I just got to trust God. I got to trust God. And now people are like, oh, what a good, conscientious young man. Oh, my goodness. He's representing the city. It's a young black man trying to go to college. Leave him alone, John Morant. That's what people are going to say. That's what people are going to say. They already think John's out here shooting everybody like he's King Von. You know what I'm saying? You know who King Von is. Anyway, GKP says, actually, the kid lives in the neighborhood, people. So his family obviously has paper already. Okay. So they live in the same neighborhood as John? This I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know. Jed says, how come if the police had shot him, we'd be hearing the other side of the story? Well, see, I don't know. See, now we're going to a whole nother topic. But I understand what you're saying. All I know is, hopefully, Ja is not distracted by all this. And he's able to keep his mind on the game. I'm not saying he seemed distracted today. I'm just saying he didn't seem himself. Who knows? Maybe it was just the injury. Jed said those are Alex Lomax's folks. Huh. Now, I saw he knows Lomax. Like I said, I don't know the deep-rooted history between all these people. But I did see Lomax was at his ceremony where he decided what school he was going to. So, I don't know. But I'm just saying, I just want y'all to leave it alone and just move on to other things. Like trying to win the playoffs. How about that? Good grief. But nonetheless, man, that's going to do it for me. We got some other games going on tonight. As you know, Miami and Milwaukee playing right now. Clippers, Phoenix, 7 o'clock. 9:30, Denver Nuggets, Timberwolves. If y'all are going to stay up that late watching that on a Sunday night, hey, more power to you. Frankie says, and these comments still coming in, John has not seemed like himself since the suspension. Yeah, I agree. That's going to do it for me, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, for watching, for listening. Let me know if you enjoy this format. Going to be back with some more stuff here soon. So we definitely appreciate it. GKP says, Jet always has to get political, economical, racial justice. And GKP says, there will be no reparations. Come on, man. We ain't talking about reparations. We're talking about John Morant and this kid that they said he beat up. You know what I'm saying? Lying on him and all this stuff. Where are we going? Are we going to protest to the House of Representatives about this? Maybe we should. I don't know. Hold another, break the quorum again and do what we got to do. Nonetheless, I'm out of here, y'all. Y'all got me talking crazy now. We got to get out of here. Sunday night. Y'all enjoy y'all night. Be safe out there. Be blessed. And we will talk to you guys again soon. By the way, Bob says hello to everybody. Y'all gonna see him soon. So, all right.
Storms come in all shapes and all sizes. It can sometimes feel like there's no escape from it. But this year has taught us that no matter what rolls in off this river, this team and city will face it all together. United for us and for Memphis.
But we have our own goals. Our own goals are always higher than what other people say.
Whose ever number was called, they were ready.
Big body Ronnie said, Coach, I can make a difference.
We can compete with anybody, no matter what adversity we're going through as a team, as an organization.
No matter how daunting it looked,
84-55, San Antonio pulling away.
no deficit was too big.
Brooks, a three for the tie. Bingo at 1.8 from 29 points down. You have just witnessed the largest comeback in franchise history.
With a franchise that can only be built in Memphis, we always refuse to blink.
It's blocked by Brooks. Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
I love everything about this Memphis Grizzlies team. Tied together, they compete at a high level.
Let's fight.
Let's go.
They have an edge about themselves that they worked for. They were doubted. They were counted out. At times they were ignored. They embrace who they are.
Ain't no backing down.
We know our path to where we want to go won't be easy, but nothing worth fighting for ever is. So for the doubters, stay on that side. Everybody else, with us.